So let's see many-to-many association mapping, which is the last type of association mapping, third association mapping, many-to-many association mapping. In this mapping, what is happening is, just remember the example, you will get many-to-many association mapping very easily. Suppose there is a student, so one student can be enrolled in multiple courses. One student can enroll in multiple courses, whereas one course from the opposite side, if you see, one course can also have multiple students. One course can have multiple students. So what is happening in the case of one-to-one association mapping? One customer has one address. If you see from the address side, then one address belongs to one customer. This is one-to-one association mapping. In case of one-to-many association mapping, customer can have multiple accounts, but from the account side, one account is always going to belong from one customer. So it becomes one-to-many association mapping. Just remember the examples. And in case of many-to-many association mapping, there is a student and courses. So one student can be enrolled in multiple courses. And whereas from the opposite side, one course can have multiple students. So how table is going to be look like? This association mapping, many-to-many case. There is a table for student and there is a table for course. So we have to establish foreign key relationship, because in every case, one-to-one and one-to-many, we are establishing foreign key relationship. Suppose in here, we are maintaining foreign key relationship, foreign key column in the student side. So what will happen? One course, one student 1 can be enrolled in multiple courses. So for student 1, suppose there is course 4, is enrolled in course 4, but also student 1 is also enrolled in other course 5. You can't write it like this right here. One student can be enrolled in multiple courses. So you can't write both courses like this. So you cannot maintain foreign key inside the student table. What about if we are maintaining foreign key in course side? Let's see. So here we are maintaining foreign key in the course side. What will happen in this case? So here is the student table, here is the course table. So one student can be enrolled in multiple courses. So one student can be enrolled in multiple courses, or you can see what you can say, that one course 4 can have multiple students. So for course 4, we have student 1. But also for the course 4, same course, there can be other student. So course 4 have student 1 and also course 4 have student 2. So we can't write it like this. We cannot do this. Even in this case, we cannot maintain foreign key in both ways, neither in student side or either in course side. What next we can do? These both things is not going to work. What we can do the approach that we are doing in case of one-to-many association mapping. So suppose there is the student table, there is a course table. One student can have multiple courses. One student can have multiple courses. One student can have multiple courses. So here is the student 1 and he can be enrolled in multiple courses. So what we are doing, we are maintaining foreign key in the course side. Here we are maintaining foreign key because that is what we are doing in one-to-many association mapping. One student can be enrolled in many courses. So here we inserted 1 and 1. What it is representing? That student 1 is enrolled in these two courses. In these two courses. So that's how we are going to do in case of one-to-many, but we are talking about many-to-many. So here we got the one student can be enrolled in many courses, but what about the opposite way? One student, one course can have multiple students. So is that we are also going to maintain foreign key in this side, like we have did in course side? What we did is we are maintaining foreign key right now in course side, and for student 1 we have two courses. One student 1 is enrolled in two courses. So here is 1 and 1, which is representing that student 1 is enrolled in these two courses. But from opposite side, it is, as it is many-to-many association mapping, from opposite side, one course should also have multiple students. One student right here is having multiple course, but one course is also to have multiple courses, because we are talking about one course is also going to have multiple students, because we are talking about many-to-many association mapping. So is that we are also going to maintain foreign key here. So how it is going to be? One course have, suppose course 4 have multiple student. So here is the multiple student. Is that we are going to do something like this? Course 4 have multiple student. So for multiple student, we have course 4. And from the other side, one student can be enrolled in multiple courses. So for student 1, he is enrolled in multiple courses. Is that this is what we are going to do in case of many-to-many association mapping? What we are doing here, we are maintaining foreign key relationship in both sides of the table. We are maintaining foreign key relationship also in the student side of the table. This is going to be in foreign key relationship with this. This column is going to be in foreign key relationship with CID of course, and this column that we are going to make in course table is going to be in foreign key relationship with the column of student. So is that in many-to-many association mapping, we are going to maintain foreign key relationship in both sides of the table, in both students and courses? No, this is not the best practice. Why? Because you can see here is multiple. We are not going to do this because this is so complex. You can see when we are going to store the data in a student side, suppose we are storing the course, then the same courses we have to, then the same student, corresponding student, we have to store in the corresponding course side of the table. So this is not the best practice. Instead of this, what we are going to do is we are going to create a new table for maintaining foreign key relationship. Look here, what we are doing, we cannot do this. One student can have multiple courses, so we cannot write multiple course in one cell. So we are not going to maintain foreign key relationship in the student side of the table. We are not going to maintain the foreign key relationship in course side of the table, because one course can have multiple student. So course 4 is having student 1 and student 2, but we cannot write this like here. So we are also not going to do this practice. So what is the next option available? We have to maintain foreign key relationship in both side of the table, in student as well as course, but this is not the best practice. So instead of that, what we are going to do, we will create new table for maintaining a foreign key relationship. So suppose we are creating, this is the student table, this is the course table. So we are going to create new table called stu course. You can say student and course. What we are going to do in this new table, instead of maintaining foreign key relationship in both side of the table, like here, in both of side of the table, we are going to create this separate table. So this column came down here, you can understand it like this, and this column, instead of maintaining it right here in course side of table, it comes down in here. So we created a table and we are maintaining foreign key relationship with the primary key of these both tables. So what will happen in this case? One student in many association mapping, one student can have multiple courses, and in one course multiple student can be enrolled. So let's see from the first side. One student can have multiple courses. So there is the student 1. One student is having multiple courses. Student 1 is having multiple courses, 4 and 5 course. So one student is having multiple courses, and from the other side, one course, suppose there is a course 5, this course can have multiple student. So course 5 is having multiple student 2, student 3, and also is having, the course 5 is having student 1. So understand this one more time. Let's understand it from the one side. A student can have multiple courses. So student 1 is having multiple courses, course 4 and 5. Student 1 is having multiple courses. Student 1 is having multiple courses, and from the other side, one course can have multiple students. So one course, which is 5, is having multiple students. You can see here 2 and 3 are different students, and course 5 is having multiple students. Even here course 5 is having student 1. So this is the best practice that you are going to do in case of many to many association mapping. I think you got the idea what association mapping is all about and what are the practices you are not going to follow when you are doing your work. You are establishing relationship between two entities, then you are not going to do association mapping by maintaining foreign key relationship in both of the table. What you are going to do, you are going to create one separate table, and inside that table you are going to establish foreign key relationship with both side of the table. So suppose a student, there is a new table in which there is a column student. This column is in foreign key relationship with a student SID. This is primary key. In a new table, student column is in foreign key relationship with student table column, and also in this student course table, course column is in foreign key relationship with column of course table. So remember this best practice when you are doing association mapping. So that's all for understanding association mapping through the diagrams. So what example we have to do in our code? We have to create a student class and course class. One student can have multiple course, and one course can have multiple students. So the practice code for many to many association mapping we are going to do in next video. So stay tuned.